I'm Linda.
And I'm Valerie.
And you're listening to Lyva
on Binwalla Radio.
5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2.
You're listening to Binwalla Radio. With your hosts, Gerald, James, and Phil.
Thank you so much for this exclusive.
Binwalla exclusive.
Good evening and welcome to the interview of Lyva Music. Tonight we're being joined by Linda McLaughlin and Valerie Gurka of Lyva. You guys are on, where, the East Coast, and we're on the West Coast, kind of.
The heart of New York City, where it all happens.
Very nice. So,
no bias. No bias on the East Coast. No bias.
No bias. No West Coast, East Coast thing.
Well, I'm a Philly girl, so.
Holla, me too.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, man. I know I liked you, Megan.
Thanks.
I'm looking at this name, Lyva. How did you guys come up with this interesting four-letter word to be your band? Is it a band or?
Thank you for pointing that out. That it's a four-letter word. That is one of the reasons why we chose it.
I'm a huge proponent of four-letter words as often as possible.
I love four-letter words.
Me too. I think they're highly underused, and they get a lot of negative connotation that they really shouldn't have. You know, I mean. Okay, we're going down the wrong path. Lyva. Okay. Lyva. It's funny. You would think that 4 letters would be so simple. I'm Linda. My parents decided to make it really hard forever and spell me with a Y. So I'm Lynda.
Well, that's because Wonder Woman spelled her way.
Correct. And why not be like Wonder Woman? And then there's Valerie. Mm-hmm. So we decided to take the first 2 letters of each of our names and just put that together. But for some reason, it's just a mystery to people how to pronounce it. It's like, I know you've got Y, which sounds like Y. Then you put an L in front of it, and you're like, oh, shit, how do I say that? Yeah. I don't know, lie. And then you put Valerie, and it's V-A, and it's Va, and then you have Lie and Va and Lyva. But yet, everywhere we go, it's, oh, my God, what's the name of your band, Lyva? Oh, yeah, that's it. Mm-hmm. Good for you. Good job. Good job on that. So, yes, we're Lyva. And originally, it was just going to be our business name, but it just stuck.
Yeah.
It stuck, and we can't shake it, so we figure, why should we? It's a 4-letter word. Let's keep it.
Exactly. So when did you guys all get together and become Lyva?
I'm sorry, Valerie was excited about that and was tweeting it. What did you say?
When did you guys get together to become this group here?
We're going on almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years of really doing this crazy Lyva thing. So, right, Val?
Yeah, it started in 2009. We were sitting in Linda's living room, and we were just kind of talking about doing a project together, and then we were like, let's try it.
Yeah, that was it.
Very nice.
Like a week later, we got together, and we sat down together, and we wrote 2 songs in one day.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is, we were friends first, so we were kind of like, all right, we're going to be friends, we're going to do this project, but if we fight and we hate each other after a session, let's just stop doing it, because we'd rather be friends than be business partners, but we got really lucky.
Good. So now next question for you guys here. What I was listening to your album here, your single Be the Question. You say you're pop/world on your Reverb Nation website, but I don't know. I get a different feeling to your music. It's a little bit, I don't know. It's got a real soulful feel to it.
Well, let's see. Let's talk about the genre question. Can we go to the genre section of the interview? Because it's like one of our favorite topics.
Yeah, please do.
Sure. I don't know if you and Megan both are musicians or what your background is, but anybody who plays music knows that the most famous question is, what's your music like? Or what's your type of music? And if you meet with anybody in the industry, they're like, in order to really make it in this world, you have to know what genre you fall into and know who to compare yourself to.
Yeah.
You know what? If I can compare myself to somebody, then I'm not original enough to make it in the first place, so please don't ask me that question. Second of all, if I wanted to fit into a box, I wouldn't be a musician because it's already hard enough. I go work in an office.
Yeah.
So, it's like, don't ask me these questions. So we kind of gave ourselves these sort of roundabout descriptions because we feel like Be the Question is indie soul / pop. We feel that I Don't Want to Fight is sort of like indie Latin because I'm singing in Spanish and English, and Valerie's singing in Spanish and English, and we've got so much Latin influence in it. But then we have another song between the lines, and that's like indie rock.
Mm-hmm.
So
Almost even blues almost.
yeah, we figure if we house ourselves under indie and just add a slash, we're going to be safe.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's why.
And we
why
have
it's
some
there.
more coming out that are completely other fusions of genres as well. So
Yeah.
it's really hard to put it down. But the thing about putting indie/world is world can mean anything.
Yeah.
So why not
Exactly.
use that word, you know?
yeah, I really, really like the 3 songs that I've heard so far.
Thanks
It's
very much for that.
Thank you.
really, really good quality, good sound. It's not. It's something I haven't heard in a while.
Good.
Because I'm so reason why I wanted to talk to you guys is because you didn't sound like everybody else. You didn't sound like the Christinas. You didn't sound like the Britneys or fill in name here. You guys had your own sound.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I can't say that you're pop or world because you guys kind of gave me that feeling of if that makes sense to you.
If we can get a lot of eyes, I'm a happy girl. We're happy songwriters. You know what I mean? That's what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Exactly. And then if the drop-down menu makes us select something, otherwise we can't proceed, then we got to select something. So.
Yeah. If they gave us other, we would have put other. But they don't give you other.
That's what we'll say next time.
Yeah,
Next time,
other.
what's your genre? Other.
I'm serious. We were at an ASCAP network. It's the ASCAP annual meeting, to just tangentially go into this for a hot second. And it was so funny because they had this panel, and the panel was about knowing how to express yourself, explain yourself, and identify your music to make it in the market. And the first thing they said was, tell us right on your homepage which 3 major artists you sound like. And I'm like, why?
They just contradicted themselves.
I'm like, why would I tell you that I sound like 3 other people that already made it, because you don't need me then?
Yeah.
It makes no sense. Anyways.
Now you guys were in South by Southwest too just recently. How'd that go? Were you guys having a lot of fun down there? I mean, South by Southwest, you got a lot of little bars. You got a lot of
the whole time.
Yeah.
We worked the entire time. We went to every single session. We went to every networking event.
Oh my God, you're hot.
And we walked around in the conference center and went to every single trade show booth.
Oh my God.
Nice.
It was all work.
I need to get
From
out of
morning
here.
till night.
I can't the lightning is striking anymore.
Yeah.
Except for steak dinner, which
Yes.
we won't talk about.
I have to say, honestly, have you been to South by?
Last year we went, but this year we didn't go, and it's just you just go everywhere, and it's just completely insane, hopping bar to bar.
I think that pretty much covers it. I think for Valerie and I, whenever we go to any sort of music networking panels, and we love that stuff. We just try
We're like
to
sponges.
Yeah, we really absorb the business side of it because, we're managing ourselves and we're promoting ourselves. And I think that, when people say there's so much available to the indie artists now, they can do it on their own. I don't think people truly do everything on their own as much as they could. And if they did, they would probably get a lot further.
Yeah.
They can do it on their own. You just have to know there's so many things that you have to do, and you have to be able to cover them all. And that's one of the things, one of the reasons why we have to go to all the panels to find out what we're missing.
There's a lot of information to be gained. I mean, there's a lot of BS being thrown around too, and that's all fine and well. I think that's like anything in life. You got to take the good with the bad. But, when you look at those panels and then you go and see a show, you can see who's applying these methods and who's not. And it's a real learning tool.
And all kidding aside, we did go to a lot of shows as well, and it was a lot of fun.
It's good to support other musicians, and be in that arena of, hey, you play this and I play that, and let's support each other. I mean, I think if there was a lot more of that, we'd all be more successful.
And you get to build some connections that you never would ever to get anywhere else but at South by Southwest.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Megan had a question for you.
Megan!
I'm sorry, he talks so much more than I do. Sometimes it's hard for me to get a word in edgewise.
Partners that talk over you and talk a lot, those damn partners. Another 4-letter word, Megan.
Yes, I like those 4-letter words. Like, you can never have enough, because sometimes they can be like nouns and verbs and adjectives all rolled up in one, and you can,
That's right.
multitasking.
Words.
Yes. I was like looking at your website, and I noticed that you have a link to your service messages that you did for the Stop the Child Trafficking
Yes, we did that. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a big charity that we're involved
It
with.
means a lot to us to be able to help these organizations, and this one was near and dear to us because a friend of ours is very involved with the organization, and it was something that we could do to give back to the community. And we ended up making public service announcements that were broadcast in about 50 plus cities around the United States. And we produced them ourselves, and it was a great way for us to,
It was really great. I mean, I don't think, not to take this interview into a very sad kind of place, but the average person is not aware that in their city, usually 3 to 5 miles from the most urban center, there's like between 5,000 and 8,000 girls under 13 being sex trafficked. And that is like, if you really think about that, that is really scary. So, and we have it here I think we have over 10,000 girls that's happening to right now in Manhattan.
Wow,
and for
that's
me,
insane.
that is just unacceptable.
That is an insane number. Well,
it really is. And so our good friend said to us, hey, would you guys be willing to do this? It would obviously be a charity. We're not able to pay you. It was like without a beat. Valerie and I were like, sure, what do you need? So, we wrote this jingle that, sort of backed up all of their PSAs. And then they held a fundraiser, and we played their fundraiser for them at cost.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So my next question, you said you wrote this jingle. Who does most of the writing for you guys?
It's 50-50. We do everything 50-50.
So you're like Paul and John type thing,
Pretty much, just way hotter.
I would have to agree.
Well,
No.
We had to just clear that up. I don't want anybody thinking about us like Paul and John with boobs. That's just wrong. It's totally wrong. Yeah. So yeah, it's 50-50 all the way. It makes it nice and easy. So,
I mean, it's kind of different. I mean, each song it kind of flows a little differently. Sometimes somebody brings something to the table. And other times they start in the session, they get contrived in the session.
It's really interesting, it's like you come and you're like, oh, this song's awesome. And then like, it's really funny. I don't know if like I said, are you guys musicians, by the way?
I played the piano when I was a child, but mostly I've stuck in broadcasting and radio. So that's where I'm mostly.
And I'm mainly a listener.
Okay.
A listener.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm the one who enjoys the music and has like an strangely eclectic iPod list.
Listen, we need people who play instruments and play the radio. So you play the radio, we'll play the instruments, and it'll all be fine.
Awesome.
That's how I work it out. But in all seriousness, I think that there's times when you think a song's really good, and then you play it for someone else, you're like, oh, no, sorry, this is not good at all. But it's not till someone else is listening to it that you hear all the things that are wrong with it. Yeah. And then someone else can say, hey, mix this or do that or write that. And
sometimes they're just uncooked and they need to be, baked a little more.
Exactly.
It's cool.
So what you were going to say something, Megan?
Yeah, it's like basically it's like any other creative endeavor that sometimes you need a sounding board and somebody else to hear it because you don't always hear the missing parts when you're listening.
No, yeah, definitely. I think that that's a really, really good point. And I think too, there's things that you might not be open to or you wouldn't think of, until somebody else goes, oh, did you try this? Or how about if we had this harmony? And don't get me wrong, Valerie and I have had our butting heads where I'm like, absolutely not. And she's like, how about, yeah? I'm like, how about no? And then I'm like, all right, fine. It was good. All right, fine. It was good. Fine.
It happens sometimes and it happens on both ends. So
it's just one of those things.
It just works.
Yeah.
So how can people find live? I almost made the mistake.
Lyva.
I almost made the mistake. How can we find your music? See?
It's so funny. It's lyvamusic.com. That's LYV as in Victor A music.com.
You can find us on iTunes by going to the search function and typing in Lyva, Lyva.
And we have Facebook, and you can go to our Lyva fan page. We have Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter at Lyva. What else? We have Reverb Nation. So,
And Pandora.
We're on Pandora now.
Are you now?
On Pandora, yeah. We're super excited about that.
Have to add
We're
you
also
guys.
on about 15 different radio stations around the world as well.
That's right.
Very, very good. Another quick question. Are we going to be seeing you guys anywhere? Are you guys going to be traveling once you get your album completed, or what's going to happen?
This is a great question.
The tour will begin this summer.
Yes. June is when we're looking to kick off again.
Manhattan will be the first
the first stop. Home is the first stop. Yeah, it's funny. We want to come out to California.
Okay, well, let us know when you get out here.
We will definitely be hitting you guys up for some couch surfing time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
just give us a call anytime.
Awkwardly silent. They were like, "Oh, great. Yeah." No, just kidding. But yeah, no, we're definitely thinking about coming out to California, and we're thinking maybe Atlanta or Nashville, and definitely some time here in the city.
Texas, Missouri, Italy, Spain.
Yeah, the world in a nutshell. Yeah.
Any last words for the listeners, or anything that you want to make sure people know about your little venture here to become successful and venture into a big bad band?
I would say that our parting words is something that Valerie and I used to have written up on the wall that we used to look at every day when we would write songs, which is always create, always produce. And I think that if you're always keeping yourself in motion, the long and the short of it is, why not you?
Mm-hmm.
Why not you?
I like
why
that.
Not us?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yep.
Well, ladies, thank you for joining us tonight here on BinwallaRadio.com. We greatly appreciate it.
Binwalla rocks.
We love Binwalla.
Thank you.
Binwalla. We're gonna write a song and it's gonna be called Binwalla. We'll send it to you.
That'll be crazy.
What genre are we gonna make that song?
Yeah, what genre would you like that to be in?
Natalie Merchant. No, I'm kidding.
How about other?
Other.
Megan rocks.
Yes.
Awesome.
I always like that little choice. Other.
Yes.
Total score right there, Megan.
Yeah.
That's
Enough said. Love it.
All right, perfect. Once again, thank you to Valerie and Linda from Lyva Music, and we'll be posting all the information on BinwallaRadio.com, so you guys can go check out their website, go to iTunes, go to Twitter, go to all the other fun places to get all your information you ever wanted to know about Lyva Music. And ladies, thanks again, and we will see you very soon, hopefully.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Megan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.